Okay, and we're back with this book, The Dungeon Survival Guide, which is certainly a book that exists.
This looks like a pamphlet.
It is not a pamphlet. That is what I'm going to claim, as what they claimed. So, to go over one of the strongest things about this one is that it does have actually a lot of art. These are recycled from earlier books, either for the most part or completely, because this is from Dungeonscape. I immediately recognize this art. And there's quite a few other ones that I could probably point out the book it's from, but that's besides the point. So yeah. Any case, the Dungeon Survival Guide has no rules in it whatsoever for anything. It is purely a guide of advice for dungeons. Starting with the general section, which is the dungeon in Dungeons and Dragons. So adventurers in dungeons, so which is very abbreviated for basic classes. Fantastic races, but we're only going to go over some of the most mundane ones. The dwarves, elves, and
races such as humans.
Humans, the most fantastical race of all. And I find, and this adventuring party made up of some of the iconics, the iconic fighter, the iconic clerk, the iconic, that's a wizard, I swear, the iconic dwarf fighter. And let's see, dungeon survival gear, and this is more just advice on things. Yeah, you know, like armor exists, weapon exists, there's various adventuring gear.
Don't get criminals.
Yep. Let's see, dungeon hazards. Which I will give them credit for putting art together pretty well in this 2-page spread. I actually...
Yeah.
But yeah, including like advice for when running into slimes and oozes. I don't use slashing weapons. Traps, magical traps. I don't know if this is actually advice or more of a rant here, but whatever. Various other little things. Let's see. And then them talking about dungeon treasure, which I don't know how this actually helps or pertains to Dungeon Survival Guide, but I guess it exists. Also, the only actual mechanical thing in this entire book, here's the money conversion table. Also, realistically, there's gold, or there's GP. That's really it. And like, let's see. Also, Treasures of Legend. Because why not? Let's describe some artifacts.
With all the deeds.
Yep. Orbs of Dragonkind. And various things like that. Alright. And now getting into the rest of the book. The famous dungeons, and talking about them. Like the Underdark, which is a place setting on a dungeon, but I guess you could treat it as one. It kind of works. Including like that Drow City, Mind Flayers, Gelatinous Cubes, Kuatoas, which I do not think of when I think of the Underdark, but whatever. I don't need rejected deep ones, it's fine.
Look, everyone likes to hog it more than us for doing the best we can.
Yep. Let's see. And next is Castle Greyhawk. And again, talking a bit about Castle Greyhawk. And by the way, here's this adventure for this adventure module for Castle Greyhawk that we currently sell. Then moving on to Castle Ravenloft. Various little things about Ravenloft. And by the way, here's this module for Ravenloft that we currently sell. And just to be different, the Caves of Chaos, as featured in the Keep on the Borderlands, module B2, which was written by Gary Gygax in 1980, that they don't actually currently sell. So, okay, I guess. And also does not exist in 3.5 rules, so this makes it extra confusing, but because God knows I don't want to do that much converting. Let's see. And the Demon Web Pits, which is Lolth's Lair of the Abyss. Which is a super happy, fun place to visit, which you do in the Expedition to the Demon Pits Dungeons & Dragons Adventure, published in 2005. Which was inspired by the first edition module, Queen of the Demon Web Pits, module Q1, written by David Sutherland III, and with Gary Gygax, published in 1980.
I'm noticing a trend here.
And finally, the Dungeon of the Slave Lords, which is again one they don't actually sell, but is a classic one from Dungeons of the Slave Lords Module A4. The A series is actually all about the Slave Lords. Notably,
we at Wizards of the Coast don't have a module based on the Slave Lords, but we do have a slave pit. Or make the interns work.
Well, yeah, but doesn't everyone?
It's...
I mean, I'm building one in my backyard. Now I just need interns. Let's see, and here's Firestorm Peak. And just to be different, it's a second
edition.
Yeah, it's a second edition AD&D module. Also, notably was written by Bruce R. Cordell, who still actually works for Wizards of the Coast at this time, I believe. He's actually the writer behind he's the main writer behind the Psionics Handbook and Expanded Psionics Handbook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He also has other writing credits. The other most notable thing that I noticed he wrote, which was way later, is he is a co-author with Monty Cook of The Strange. But yeah. Hey, case getting back to this book. Yeah. The Forge of Fury. As seen in this 3.0 module, The Forge of Fury. Let's see. The Ghost Tower of Avernus from that classic adventure, Ghost Tower of Avernus, which no one remembers, but Module C2, in the same series as Module C1, which I believe actually comes up later. Let's see. Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl. Again, from that classic adventure, Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl. Really classic adventure. This was like a 1978 one. Yep. 3 modules comprise the classic Giant series, later combined into a single adventure titled Against the Giants, re-released in 1981. Hall of the Fire Giant
Hall
King
of the
here.
Fire Giant King.
Yep.
Related.
Also from that classic Against the Giants compilation.
Are we gonna do 3 for 3? Oh
No, no, we're not, unfortunately.
No,
but here's where
the other giant one.
Nope, but here's where C1 is, the Hidden Shrines of Tamachan. The first one of the C series. Yep. Let's see. The Lost Caverns of Zocanth from the Lost Caverns of Zocanth S4. The Pyramid of Amun-Re. AD&D, I believe. Is that first? No. Yeah, that's. I think that's first ed module. First module in the 3-part series that continued with Oasis of the White Palm and Lost Tomb of Martek, which gather for present an adventure to defeat the curse on Amun-Re. Whatever the hell that is. Takes more reading than I was willing to do for this book. Let's see, and here's Slaughterguard. As in this book, you can actually buy the Shattered Gates of Slaughterguard. Released in 2006, so relatively recent, actually. Let's see, and the Sunless Citadel, older one. Also the Sunless Citadel. Although written as a standalone adventure, it contained adventure seeds that spawned a popular series follow-up modules, including Forge of Fury that we saw earlier, and Speaker in Dreams, which we will not see in this book. And the Temple of Huh?
The Temple of Elemental Evil.
Yep, the classic Temple of Elemental Evil, which you can visit now in the Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, but is originally from the Temple of Elemental Evil module. T1 through 4 is entire. Yeah, the Temple of Elemental Evil is a setting for 4 modules, culminating in fighting a fungus lady. What do you want? We've gone over this in earlier books. I'm not spoiling anything. She shows up in Hordes of the Abyss. Let's see, and the Tomb of Horrors, which we've actually mentioned several times. For when you really fucking hate your friends. Or they at least know what they're getting into. And possibly have copies of the Tomb of Horrors themselves, so they can avoid the traps and then tell you how bullshit those traps were. Let's see. Undermountain, from Expedition to Expedition to Undermountain, published the same year as this book as well, but based off the original Undermountain box adventure by Elminster, published by TSR in 1991. Let's see, and White Plume Mountain. Again, for the classic module White Plume Mountain by TSR. Though, let's see, yes, they published a sequel in 1999, Return to White Plume Mountain. No, I don't know why they put the cover for the classic one on this one, and when they did the for Temple of Elemental Evil, it was the other way around, but I don't know why they chose which covers were. And finally, the last words, because the...
Oh, from the great module, the last word.
Yes, for the great module, the last words. And finally, what I consider easily the most offensive page in this book, the back cover, where you realize this has a price tag. They charge money for this.
Pay for this catalog of our previous products.
Did you know that we offer a catalog?
Give us $20 for this brief run-through of many places we've had in other modules.
If this was free,
This is
fine.
the most offensive.
Yeah.
This is the most offensive book they've ever put out.
Possibly yes. Because if this was free, perfectly fine. If this was like a magazine article or a series of magazine articles, okay, fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm not paid $20 for this ever.
Okay, when I called it a pamphlet when you first showed the cover, I was referring only to how the cover looked.
I was.
Should have been a fucking
That's why this isn't a pamphlet. This is a published book.
Yeah.
This should have been a fucking pamphlet sent to different game stores to, like, encourage people to look at their fucking products. It should not have been a book you buy.
It'll encourage you to check out one of these fanciful dungeons for a low price, $19.99.
If you can actually prove that you paid money for this book and still have the physical receipt, I believe Voices of the Coast owes you $20. Possibly adjusted for inflation, which probably comes out to about $500 at the moment.
I can't help but wonder if this was a sealed book just to prevent people from looking through it and realizing, no, I'm not spending 20 fucking bucks on this.
We don't want people to get the secrets contained within for free.
If it was a paperback, possibly. The hardcovers, they almost never actually sealed, so you could open them up.
The only sealed ones I ever saw was the Book of Vile Deeds and the, obviously not Wizards of the Coast, but the Book of Erotic whatever it was.
The Book of Erotic Fantasy, yeah. Yeah, the book, yeah.
Those ones, with, quote, mature subjects, unquote, were sealed in, like, plastic wrap. I would imagine, like I said, this one is sealed just to prevent people from fucking looking at it and realizing what trash it is.
What are you talking about? We just looked at this.
If I was a
Is this
bookstore,
not one of the greatest books they've released?
If I was a bookstore, I'd refuse to stock this. Because I know it's not going to sell.
What I would actually probably do if I owned a store is possibly buy precisely one and leave it on the counter completely open. I refuse to sell it, but if you want to look through it in order to like get an idea of like just to browse as a catalog, that's fine. Like inherently as a catalog, it is okay. As an actual product to sell on a store shelf, yeah.
That's fair.
The problem is not that it exists. It's perfectly fine that it exists.
Yeah.
The insane part is they think they should charge $20 fucking for it.
Or 26 Canadian.
They know they did.
Yeah. The price at 26 Canadian may well be cheaper today than it was back then. But yeah, so you can see why I didn't take up an entire week with this one.
No, that's fair. That's
I
fair.
can't wait for the 5th edition re-release of the Dungeon.
Survival.
I'll be honest, if you had
Dungeon
left this
Survival
out,
Guide.
I don't think anyone would have noticed.
Oh, I couldn't leave this out. This was too good. In its own stupid way.
That's fair.
But yeah. In case, if I think we're all done ranting on this book for now, so how silly this is.
What a waste of everyone's time.
I don't know.
This
I got
book,
some amusement out of
not
it.
this stream. This book.
But yeah, in any case, we'll be back in a minute.